guys, welcome back to Co-OpCast. We're excited to be back again for another week. We're just going through each week at a time. I'm excited to be back with you guys. It's been pretty crazy on the farm with this huge heat wave. I don't know if any of you guys listening not in the Pacific Northwest, but it is hot this week. How are you guys doing with this hot week?
Well, I'm in Idaho, so I'm not as hot. We're in like the upper 70s, lower 80s, so we're doing okay over here. But I hear I'm coming home for the 4th, and I'm not ready for it. Not ready for the hundreds.
I'm just praying that it would be 70 right now.
Oh, I know. I went on a hike this Saturday to Snow Lake with a couple friends, and my legs are dead, and it was freaking hot coming back down. We left in the morning at like 5, but it felt good going up. And there's actually still snow up there, and it was kind of nice, but yeah, I got a little sick again from that.
Oh, man.
Dang.
2 weeks in a row.
Etiquette.
Yeah, well, right now, as we're recording where I'm at, it's 96 degrees outside, and it's 9 p.m. So tomorrow at
crazy.
4 p.m. tomorrow, even 3 p.m., it's going to be 115 degrees.
Ooh.
And that's the kind of temperature that kills all your crops, and your cherries will just shrivel up and die. So,
How well is the AC in your guys' tractors?
oh, it's fine.
It's good.
It's great.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
No problem with that.
That's nice.
Yeah. Like sometimes you're driving the tractor, and all of a sudden your air conditioning will kind of warm up, and you have to just get out of the tractor and just wipe all the dirt and just that gets sucked up to the front in the vent. Other than that, it's like ice cold. So
there you go.
Good.
Nothing to complain about while we're in the tractor, but when we're outside of the tractors and outside of our cars, it's dangerously hot.
That's crazy. I don't know. That just reminds me of my mission. And it's like, I don't want to go back to that, man. Like, I don't want to go back to 115 where that's the norm. Ugh. Well, just giving a little update on some little video game news. This last weekend, I went to my in-laws' place, and before I left, I downloaded the new Mario Golf game, and I ended up beating the whole, like, me storyline thing. Like, you could play the whole, like, storyline as your me. And I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I think it'd be really fun when you get a group of people that kind of know how the game works. It'd take 2 or 3 like rounds for everybody to kind of figure it out. But after that, it'd be really fun to play against each other.
Nice.
I'd be down to play.
So would you say that any gamer out there who likes playing those golf games you would recommend them picking up this game?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's great. Cool. I don't know. It's just golf with like every other like hole you get like a super shot basically, and each character has a different like ability.
Nice.
Like, I could tell you the difference between Mario and Luigi because those are the only 2 characters I've played so far. Mario, when his ball like lands, all the balls that are like around him like blast away from him. So if you like land right next to somebody, you could blast them off the fairway into like the rough and into like some trouble. And then Luigi's, when his lands, he makes a whole like area of ice. So when people land on that area, it just slides along. So if you make that like green ice, it makes people just slide off the green and makes your putts all wonky and stuff. So just fun little abilities.
Mario sport games are amazing at making. I can just tell from the way you're describing it that playing that with someone would just piss you off. And you get mad at each other.
Well, I tried the battle mode, dude, and I can't beat it against 3 computers. I can't. Like,
really?
It is so hard to me, yeah. And like, I don't know if I understand the whole like way to do it and everything, but playing just the golf portion, I understand, and it's really fun.
Yeah. So,
I think if you like sport games and you're okay with golf, because a lot of people out there are golf haters and they'll hate the game. I already know that.
Yeah.
Just because it's golf.
Yeah, just because it's golf.
So, has there been anything in the game that's like surprised you? Or has it just kind of been exactly what you've kind of expected going into it?
It's kind of exactly what I expected going into it. The only thing is the little story mode they gave was like all what I was expecting until like the last quarter of the game. And then it kind of throws a curveball that's like, I don't know if I really enjoyed it or not. Like, I don't know. You just have to play it and see how you feel about it, because I'm not gonna like spoil it for anybody that does want to play it.
Oh, gotcha.
But the end of the game, it's just like, this took a really weird turn, but okay, I'll go along with it.
Gotcha.
Nice. Well, today we are going to talk about 3 movies that we wished we could watch again for the first time. Not necessarily our 3 favorite movies of all time, but movies that really stood out to us, that really we just wish that we could get brainwashed and experience it all over again. Whether that's the twist in the movie that really meant something to us, or just the plot, or anything. So we're going to talk about that today. I think we're each going to mention 3, and then any honorable mentions as well. So those of you guys who are listening, we'd love to hear your comments as well, and of your favorite movies. So put them right down in the comment section below and in the Discord, and we'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this episode. Well, we like get together, not as often as we should, but when we do get together and plan, we put this idea together, and I'm really excited to hear you guys' your movies, and I just think it's a cool little segment to do, because there's some good movies to talk about that really hit in a different way when you first watch it.
Yeah, again, and I think there's gonna be a lot of like unexpected ones from each of us, because like I don't know what movies you guys really really like and don't like. Like, yeah, I don't really watch movies all that often, so if there's a really good movie that I've watched more than once, that's how you know I've really enjoyed it, is if I've watched it more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how I made my list.
So before I wanted to give a brief. We can each go through if you guys each have thoughts to say about your list, but because I know my family, if they listen, they'll want to know why I chose these movies. So when I was going through I was methodically thinking about the list, because my family will always, like, when we get together, we'll like talk about movies and like our favorite actors, and we'll talk a lot about movies. So I really got methodical about it, and I came to the conclusion that for movies that I would want to rewatch, it couldn't be a comedy, because I feel like comedy grows better over time, and I feel like it's better watching it another time over. So I took comedies out, and I went for suspenseful dramas, pretty much, which are 3 of my 4 movies that really, it never is the same the second time or the third time. The first time is when it really hits the best. And so those are my movies. It's not my favorites necessarily.
Yeah. I guess I should give my criteria of why I thought of it too. That's good to go over. Like, and if Carter, if you have any criteria of what you put on your list. So I didn't, the main thing I did was I didn't put any like series of movies, unless like, except for one of them kind of is, but like, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, great movie series. Yeah. I just didn't put them in because, I don't know, I just didn't want to put those big names in, because a lot of people that seen them want to rewatch them again. They're obvious ones. They're not ones that I would like to talk about. So I didn't put those ones in.
Yeah, and for me, it's hard to, like, someone will always ask you, like, what's your favorite movie? And I could never answer it. But when we went into this criteria of, like, what would you wish you could watch again? I was able to pretty much come up with my 3 within 5 minutes. So pretty excited to talk about them and just share with you guys why I picked these 3 movies. And I think I can come up with 3 pretty good reasons of why for each one of these movies.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're definitely not like my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
And I still can't answer that. That's a really hard question.
It is.
Sure. There's just so...
What your favorite movie is?
There's just too many, man. Like, there's so many good ones out there, and like so many one-offs that I've watched just once, but I'm like, you know what? That could easily be in my top 10 movies, like, of all time. But am I going to sit down and rewatch it? Probably not. But like, I don't know. I feel like the reason why I picked the ones I picked were because I did rewatch them, because I wanted that feeling of watching it for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I picked ones that I watched kind of a lot. And that hold a really close, near dear spot in my heart.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, I want to jump into my first honorable mention.
Yeah, I only
And
have...
I'll actually only have one now because I had changed my list. So I'm curious if either of you guys have seen this movie. So it's got Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, and it probably came out in 2005, around that time. It's called The Prestige. Have you guys seen it?
I've heard about it. I never saw it.
Okay. So it's a magic movie where Hugh Jackman and
I've seen it.
Yeah, Christian Bale, they're magicians, and they're kind of like they're competitive. It's like Ash and his friend. They're always competing to see, whoever it is. And like so, they're always competing. They're trying to one up each other, trying to become the best magician, and like they keep taking it to new levels. And this movie has the most amount of like makes you think one thing, comes in another way. I don't know. I'm gonna be mad if I can't think of the word. Like gotcha moments where it just completely.
I would agree.
Yeah, it just like constantly happens in that movie, and the movie is never the same. Watching it another time. I mean, when you watch the second time, you appreciate it because now you're able to catch everything that happens and fully digest it. But the first time is so special because it catches you so many times and things that just blow your mind, like that actually happened. And it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, great actors and two.
Nice.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it once, and no, I've seen it twice. The first time I saw it, we had a guest named Carter, just like my name, the farmer, Two Carters, Two Farmers episode. He was the one who showed it to me when we were kids, and it's like a really big twist.
That's the word,
We're
dude.
probably not gonna. Oh, the twists.
Yeah, twists. Okay.
Yeah, we're probably not going to mention like spoilers in this episode, just for the sake of you guys who are interested in watching these movies that we mentioned. If you haven't seen them before, we'll save you from the spoilers. But
like we might
it's
mention
one of
or
the biggest
two little
twists I've
things.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Right.
Like things that won't matter to the plot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's only 76% Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
I know. I think that's
Rotten
pretty
Tomatoes
sad.
is wrong all the time, though. Like,
Yep.
I don't know, because I remember when Venom came out. You remember Venom?
Yeah.
Like it had like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, but everybody I talked to loved it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right.
Yeah. I don't really know if I have any honorable mentions. My only like one that I would say would be all of like Star Wars stuff, just because I'm a Star Wars nerd. But like that's why I made that criteria, is because if I made it those movies, like I'd have 3 Star Wars movies on here. So can't have that.
Smart.
Do you have any honorable mentions, Carter?
No. I just picked 3.
Okay, cool. Who wants to go first?
I can go next, or just basically start our 3. I don't know which one to pick first. Mine aren't in any particular order, so I'll just start from the top of my list. So I was going to write down Iron Man as one of my favorite, or like one of the movies I wish I could watch again, solely because of the reason of the feeling I had during that scene when he's coming out of the cave with his first suit that he made.
Oh yeah, dude.
And when I was just like a 4th grader at the time, and so that was like the first real action movie that I saw. And like I remember I was actually like shaking in my seat in the theater, like I was actually like so pumped for some reason. And I was gonna put that. I guess that's an honorable mention, but something else that gave me the similar feelings was later on when Hunger Games came out. I just remember when it's that scene right before they go up into the arena, when they're rising up from underground. And it's like it brings that whole first part of the movie all up to that moment. And I'm just watching this. And I've read the book before, and it's probably the first movie I've seen where I've read the book before. And so it was just like the feeling I had just like watching Katniss go up. And like she like turns around and like I think she like puts her hands up on the glass as she's raising up. And she's like finally realizing like what she's getting into. And it like just the feeling I had, like, oh my gosh, like it's starting. We're about to watch like a lot of murder happen with all these kids. And so and like there's just such a great series, all of those 4 movies. But I decided to put that as one of my 3 just because the feeling I had with it, and just having that feeling again, watching it for the first time, is something that I would appreciate a lot, because it was a really big movie for its time, and I think it did really well. And
huge.
Even today, it's still rewatchable. We just watched all 4 like, I don't know, a year ago. It's fun to watch all 4 of those like consecutively.
Wait, are you talking about Hunger Games now? Did you just switch to that?
What's up?
Did you just switch to Hunger Games? Or are we talking about Iron Man there at the end?
Let's talk about
No. Hunger Games.
Oh.
Yeah, Hunger Games is number 3.
Oh, Iron Man's honorable. Okay.
His honorable mention, yeah.
Honorable mention.
Gotcha.
I was bringing myself to Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like they're both those action movies that like I felt
that feeling.
Real feelings for. Because most action movies, like, oh, it's a car pursuit. I don't really care. Let's move on to the next scene. I don't care about these car chases.
Mm-hmm.
But like those 2 movies, I think stand out the most to me for like action. You know?
Yeah. No, I don't know if I've seen all of the Hunger Games, but that first Hunger Game like stuck to me. Like I love that movie. It's really good. I think I went on my mission when a couple of them came out, so I didn't get to see them all. And then I just haven't taken the time to watch them. For those of you out there, I'm not that big of a movie watcher. I'd rather be doing something like with my brain. Like I have a hard time sitting down for a couple hours, so it's kind of rare for me to sit down and watch a movie. I probably watch one movie every month and a half, every 2 months. So yeah, but like Hunger Games,
I would say that Sawyer's the most movie watcher, and then I'm second, and Colin's third.
Yeah, for sure. But like Hunger Games, when I first watched it, like, okay, I'm gonna spoil one scene.
Go ahead. It's old.
Yeah. Oh wait, never mind. That's what I wish they did with it. But like, how Katniss like saved Rue's life, like just straight up just shot a dude in the jugular, like just shot him, like goodbye. But I always thought
you're thinking of it wrong.
I am. I don't remember, dude.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking of how I wanted it to be, because I remember like I thought of this like cool action shot.
She did shoot the guy in the jugular, but Rue still cut. She still died.
Well, she died, but she saved him at that time. Oh no, did she die to that guy?
No, he shot her and then she shot back, so they both died.
Oh dang. Okay, yeah, I did forget. Wow, it's been a while. Rest in peace, Rue.
It's too late, man.
All right,
you guys make me want to watch the movie again.
Isn't that the point? The point?
Yeah, sure.
The music is really good too.
You guys are succeeding right now.
All right. Do you want me to go next, or I'll go next?
Yeah.
So my number 3, it might be a really weird one to talk about, because I don't think a lot of people would think of this movie. But I just want to take myself back to the headspace I was in when I first watched it. Me as a growing teenager that was really into football, really into like manly things and stuff like that, because I'm a growing boy and I have to be into that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
And in the town we grew up in, football is kind of like life. And I just remember when I first saw this movie, I was like, man, I love this movie. And I probably watched it 100 times when I was in middle school, high school.
I'm excited to hear.
It's The Longest Yard.
Ooh,
with so Adam Sandler. So when you said comedies, I was like, this one's kind of a comedy, but like, I don't know. I loved it when I watched it.
It's one of the funniest movies of all time.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
So good.
But I just want to get back into that headspace, like where I was when I was growing up, to the first time I watched it. Because I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, dude, these guys are so BA, and this movie's so hilarious. Like, I wish I could be like these convicts in this prison. Like, for those of you that don't know, I bet I'll just tell you the basic premise is this superstar QB, washed up, ends up going to prison for some things he did. And the warden there has a semi-pro football team that's all the guards in the prison. And they end up putting together this football game between the guards and the convicts. And it's a funny little story of how like the convicts are trying to get the upper hand to win this game. And so they have this ex-NFL QB as their QB for the convicts, and it's just really funny. has some like cool stars too. Like I can't remember the name of the wide receiver, but he was one of the wide receivers. Michael Irvin, yeah. He's one of the stars on the movie.
Terry Crews
for it. Terry Crews for sure.
He's also in it.
I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the burgers that'll. I just got burgers. He's got some of the funniest lines in that movie. Again, for those that are watching, he's the one that like he has the hookups with McDonald's inside of prison, so everybody like tries to like trade him for McDonald's.
Get McDonald's.
Yeah, nice.
I love the fat guy on the team.
Yeah,
he's all tired. Here you go, fat man. And he gives
You're not cutting me.
Don't you dare cut me.
Can of Coke, and I'll be fine.
I need to watch that movie again. I've only seen it once. Yeah, and I just remember the fat guy. That's all I remember.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love that movie, and I just like every time I watch it now, it's not the same. But like, I wish I could go back to middle school when I had that kind of trying to be funny mindset and loving sports like football mindset. So, yeah, that's my number 3.
It's a good number 3. My number 3 is going back to when I was probably 8. I watched a movie with Camry. Camry came over to our house, our cousin, and my parents had seen it. She had seen it, and they wanted to rewatch it with us because me and some of my siblings hadn't watched it. And so it's a voodoo horror thriller movie. It's called Skeleton Key. I doubt you guys have seen it. But
nope.
Yeah. So let's just say, so it's the classic lady caregiver is helping this old man out, and voodoo comes into play. Sorry, hoodoo, not voodoo. And there's a really big twist at the end that literally my jaw dropped, and I thought about the movie for the next 2 weeks because the twist. I want to say more but I don't want to give anything away because it's really good. And it's just a movie where like right after you watch it, you have to watch it again because you want to watch it knowing what you know now, but it's just never the same the first time without being the first time, and it's so freaking good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't say much.
So so you said it's a thriller or a scary movie?
It's not scary. No,
I think it means like it's just intense.
Yeah,
it's just kind of
gotcha
anxiety inducing.
Yes.
So I probably would hate it.
If you don't like it.
As soon as you mentioned it, I'm like, I need to check this out. I think me and my wife will like it.
It's really good, dude.
So we'll probably watch it.
Yeah. Not much else to say. I wish I could say more.
That's the thing about the good movies is like you can't talk about them unless you're talking about it with people who've seen it.
Yeah. Like that and movies that have twists and like important details to it, like you can't really give anything of that up because it's like you want people to watch it, and if you just give it away, it won't be the same. Whereas like a movie like Longest Yard, it really doesn't matter if you know anything. Yeah. It's just there to have a good time. But like I don't know. I want to try out some intense movies, but like every time I've tried like a scary movie or an intense movie, I have to like walk away, dude. Like I can't deal with it, and I don't know why.
I didn't know you didn't like thrillers. I just thought it was scary.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if I've seen a thriller, so we'll have to see.
Okay.
I might have to watch it.
I think
out of all my 3, it's called Skeleton Key. Gotcha. Out of my 3 movies, this is the one I would recommend to you guys to watch because I feel like most people have seen my first 2. I know people have seen the second one, but this one I feel like is not very seen by most people, and it's really freaking good.
Yeah.
Just a hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Colin, I think if you wanted to try getting into thriller movies, I would suggest a movie like Get Out or Us. Probably Get Out first and then Us.
Yeah. No,
because Us is a bit more intense.
That's a little intense, I'd say. What do you think?
Get Out?
Yeah.
It's just not like scary. It's just kind of like what's going on.
No, that's true. Get Out would be a good one. Yeah.
Us is a bit more like, holy crap,
Yeah,
holy crap.
Don't start with that one. Don't start with that.
Gotcha. All right. I might need to have some support around me.
Cuddle with your wife, bro.
Dude, she'd run away faster than me. We're both scaredy cats.
Well, I can start on the next movie, our number 2
Sounds good,
choice. This one, I wish I could put more into words of my thoughts about it. I haven't seen it in like a year or two, and I've only seen it once. So I would love, like, even tonight, I would watch it tonight if I could, and I would, but I don't know if I will. It is, it's a pretty old movie. I don't know. It was a book. It's a really old book a movie based on a book. It's called Count of Monte Cristo. Have you seen that, Sawyer?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah,
you've seen it. Yeah, we talked about that recently.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good, and I just want to kind of come up with different reasons on my 3 movies. My first one was like just the feelings I had with the action. This one, I just love the story of the betrayal and the redemption within the movie, and it just had my attention the whole movie, the whole time. I don't know how long it is. I think it's pretty long.
It's pretty long, yeah.
But it's based on the time with like Napoleon Bonaparte during that war, and in like France and like the Mediterranean and stuff. It's just so good. And there's just like that whole prison part of the movie, and just the redemption, and just those 2 friends that start from the beginning and how they just relate with one another throughout the movie, and the relationship they have with one another, and how it changes, and it's just crazy. And I can't remember if there's like a big twist or anything, but there are like little like gotcha moments, I would say, that's just like, oh wow.
There's it's not very it's not very twisty.
Not very twisty, but like those moments where you're just like, oh man, that's awesome. Or like, you got him.
I feel like there's a lot of good movies, and then there's some movies where like the word epic is actually applicable, and I feel like The Count of Monte Cristo is actually.
I hate saying that word.
I know,
but I agree.
But like, because it feels like a long adventure movie where like all these different parts happen, and it's like a whole epic story. And this says how much this movie is good. I never read books, and whenever I watch movies, I always want to read them, but I never do because I don't like reading that much. But that movie was so good that I actually read it. I read half of it. It's a really freaking long book, but I actually started.
I want to read the book too. Yeah. When I first watched that movie that night, I looked up to see what the book was like, and I never tried it, but I really want to.
Yeah,
it's just that one was one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's just my type of movie. But yeah, that's my second.
Nice. Never seen it. Don't know what you're talking about.
Revenge. Let's just say that.
Just revenge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Revenge.
Cool.
It's like Red Dead Redemption, but European.
European. Ezio Redemption. Should I move on to my number 2?
Yeah.
All right, my next 2 are very, very well-known movies, but they're movies that I freaking love and are awesome, and we can talk about them. For number 2, I would have to say it would have to be the Smurfs. Just kidding. Other blue people. Avatar.
Oh, Avatar.
Yeah, Avatar. The main actor in that movie, one of my favorite actors, like, of all time. I think I've seen a couple other movies of his, and every time it's just like, I really like this guy. Like, he's really good at it. I need to look
the
up
main
the
dude?
movies. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
What's his name? Was he on that UFC movie?
I know the character's name. It's like Sully or something.
Yeah, it's Sully.
He's not in the UFC movie, but he looks like him.
He looks like him? Then I might just be talking crap out of my butt, dude.
You're talking about Warrior? The movie Warrior?
Maybe,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not him.
It's Sam Worthington.
Yeah. I don't know. I must be talking crap again. Like,
you're thinking of
what I'm saying. Because they look the same, man.
They do look similar, yeah. What's his name?
Because, like, literally when I saw Warrior, if that's the movie, the 2 brothers in the UFC.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, that guy.
And Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton is the brother that you're thinking of.
Got you. I think I thought that when I saw Warrior and never actually like looked it up. So
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, it's the same guy. So it probably isn't the same guy.
This is him.
Okay, so it isn't. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just dumb.
But Warrior is amazing.
It is a great movie.
Honestly, 10 out of 10. I don't give
Yeah.
movies 10 out of 10, but that is a 10 out of 10 movie.
It is a great movie. If you want to see a like heart-jerking and amazing UFC movie, Warrior,
Oh my gosh.
100%. But going back to Avatar, I don't know. It was just like this national phenomena. Like everybody had to go see this movie. I don't think there was really that big of like a hype before the movie came out, but once the movie came out, everybody had to go see it because it was that good. And I think the reason why I loved it so much and the reason why I'd want to go back to that time or why I wish I could rewatch it for the first time again is because it does such a good job at taking you and putting you into this whole new world and like seeing this whole new world and seeing this whole new culture and like feeling for the people that are there. Like, I don't know. I don't consider myself like a tree hugger by any means. And the movie does kind of give me those vibes sometimes, but like, I guess the thing I'm trying to say is, it just puts me there and it makes me feel for like how they live and how to understand other people, even if we don't know them at all. Like we have to get to know other things and whatnot. So
I agree.
I don't know. And I love space. Space is awesome when it comes to movies. Like going to another planet, going to space. That's probably why I love Star Wars. It doesn't matter if like some of the movies are kind of crap in Star Wars. I love them all. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just because it's space and it's like, oh, lasers, let's go. Like, but Avatar easily up there.
I find Avatar really interesting because, like, when it was out in theaters, it was sold out for like the first month, right? Mm-hmm. I remember we went back 3 weeks after to watch it the second time, and it was sold out like a month into it out in theaters. Yeah. But I find Avatar interesting because even though I know every single person who watched it in theaters was like mind blown and like everyone was blown away by how good this movie was. But now that after its release out of the theaters, I feel like nobody talks about it or watches it anymore, which is weird.
What I think though is that you kind of have to have the theater experience with it to like get this whole world feel with it.
It's true.
Because like I've watched it at home before and I'm just like halfway through the movie I'm kind of like I'm kind of done. So I guess like if I could watch it in theaters for the first time again,
it's true. That would be watching it blew my mind away, right? But then when you watch it later, it's not the same experience at all.
Yeah, no.
Which is it's sad, but yeah, I totally forgot that movie. I forgot how well that was. How good it was in theaters.
The only thing that I thought was weird was the little like panther, like the black like panther creature, how glossy it was. It always kind of like off put me. Like, why is it so glossy?
I remember that.
It's like frog skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that movie, I remember James Cameron mentioned that he had to wait like 10 years before he started to work on it because he wanted technology to advance because he had like all these ideas for it, but the technology didn't exist at the time.
Yep.
So it must have been really awesome for him to like finally jump into this huge dream of his. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to make the next movie. I think they're releasing it pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Maybe next year.
They're making 3 more, I think, right?
Yeah.
They're making 3 more?
Yeah.
Freak, dude.
I remember thinking it's they're doing an odd number 4 movies. Not odd. Usually it's 3, you know.
Yeah,
they're making 3 more.
Instead of a
like
trilogy, they're doing a quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy.
Yeah. Whatever the freak. Nah. I don't know. It just, if I could see it for the first time again, I guess in theaters, like 100%, I'd go back right now.
Yeah. So I'll go. This one's not exciting, but I had to do it because, and I'll tell you why. So Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna give to my number 2 spot, and the reason why is, right? It's funny, it's dramatic, It's got great twists. It's got amazing action. It's a true epic. It's awesome. And the reason why I would want to watch it for the first time, because it's one of those movies where it's so long that rewatching it adds a lot. But I want to watch it the first time because growing up, my family watched it so much that I feel like I never got to sit down and actually just watch it ever. For like one time, just watching it through. I was so young that I didn't have the attention span to grasp it all, that I would like sit and watch an hour, leave. So like the way I watched it was not complete and in the right order. So I feel like I lost some of the excitement that I could have had.
Are you talking about Home Alone?
Lord of the Rings.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
I was like, I think I said Lord of the Rings. Yeah. It's actually it's the same thing with Harry Potter, actually, because my siblings and my mom, they read Harry Potter. So I found out Dumbledore died, and I found out Snape, his whole stuff, before I watched it. So I wish I could have watched them without my siblings telling me what happens again. But Lord of the Rings, I just wish I could have just sat down and just watched it all as like at 20 years old instead of watching it periodically throughout my childhood. I think that would have been a better experience.
Is there a specific scene that you wish you could watch again?
Yeah.
Instead of just the three movies?
You haven't Gandalf in the first movie when he I don't want to say it for you, but
okay.
But yeah, though, if you've seen it, Gandalf in the first movie, his storyline, I that was never a surprise to me because of the way I watched them. So that would have been a lot better knowing that.
Gotcha. I was for sure you're gonna say when Aragorn threw Gimli. That's literally my favorite part in the whole series.
It is. It is.
Don't tell the elf.
Toss me. But yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Are we already up to ones?
We're already up to ones, man.
Flip.
Oh.
I'm excited to hear you. Yeah, I'm excited to hear you guys.
All right. You want to lead us off, Carter?
Yeah, I would love to. This one, it's a weird movie. It either hits you hard or it doesn't at all, I feel like. And
wait,
it really hit me hard.
Describe it. Describe it, and I want to guess what movie it is.
I think I can guess it already.
Don't. I'm just curious if I can.
Okay. So this movie, I want to say it came out in the 80s, but this movie really stood out a lot to me because of just how many things I experienced for the first time. Because I watched it in 6th grade, and it was a snow day, I remember, and my parents had to go do something, and so I just stayed at my grandma's house that day, and I think she was gone too, so I was like home alone at my grandma's house. So I went into the TV room, and I was just like rummaging around, and I found this movie, and so I put it in because I remember my dad mentioning some quotes about it every now and then the past few years. So I sit down and watch it, and it's like 2.5 hours long. And there's so many like quotes that are like recognized, and like so many different historical events that I was able to see, like, because it shows real historical footage in it, and they add this character in each scene as if he was actually like a part of that historical event, like all throughout like segregation and like the war, like the Vietnam War and all these things he was able to participate in.
Gump.
And yeah,
my boy,
Gump, man.
Mr. Gump. Bean, dude.
Mr. Bean.
But Forrest Gump, man, I don't know. It was something, because I didn't watch a lot of movies, and if I did, it was just like Disney movies, because I have 4 sisters, and I would just watch, kid movies. But then in 6th grade, I put this in by myself at my grandma's house with like no one else there, just watching this movie in like just a quiet house. Well, like it's just like a blizzard outside, and I'm just laying on the floor. And it was just an amazing experience. Just seeing this story being told by this like slow guy from Alabama, who's Tom Hanks as the character, and he just like the whole movie is him at a bench at a bus stop, but he's talking to people throughout the movie about his life, and it keeps going back to all these scenes that he's talking about. But throughout the movie, you can see that like he ends up talking to different people because he's like sitting here at the bus stop and all these people are getting on the bus and getting off. So he's just telling the story to random people, but you follow through from the beginning. And it's just so cool to see all of these different events that take place. And I actually watched like behind the scenes footage of this movie, and they like mention how they actually took real footage of like the president and like some war scenes and stuff and like really important events in the US, and they actually added Tom Hanks into those scenes to make it look like he was actually like in that moment. So it's pretty cool. And just the plot and just the character development of all the different characters, and it was really good. And I watched it with my wife because she's never seen it, and I think she really enjoyed it too. Oh, yeah. But for me, just like the whole setting I was in, just as a kid, just being introduced to all those different things. Like if, for those of you who've seen it, you can understand like as a 6th grade kid, there's just like so many different things that I've never thought about before or seen before or been exposed to. And it was just really good.
For sure,
really
man.
good.
If you're American and you haven't seen Forrest Gump, shame on you. Honestly, like, what are you doing?
It's a great movie.
Right.
No, dude. Like, I wish some movies like that, like Forrest Gump and like other like meaningful movies that like have meaning behind them, like real meaning. I wish that would have been able to watch them like alone like that. So I'm kind of jealous of you for that, because like I think it would have a bigger impact on me if I was alone. Because you know how when you watch a movie with people and they like expect something, like some reaction from you, and they kind of like peek over at you and like, did you catch that? Like, do you like what's going on, kind of thing? And I catch myself doing it too whenever I show a new thing to my wife, and because you really want them to have the same experience you did, but really the only way you can.
Oh, this is a funny part. This is a funny part about it.
But you really want them to have the same experience you had, but literally the only way they can have that same experience is if you shut up and just let them watch, man.
Just don't overhype it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to overhype this movie to you guys. Just watch it.
Yeah, just watch it. It's great. Like, what I see in it is a very, like, what the world would be like if everybody was just a little bit more innocent. Like, this guy is a little bit slower, can't think very fast, as fast as everybody else, but he's innocent, and he goes through these acts and stuff, and it's just amazing to see, like, how good-hearted he is, because he doesn't really know what's going on all the time, and all he wants to do is the best thing for everybody around him, and it's just great. I love that movie. Like, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene is when he's, it's kind of a spoiler, I won't say it too much, but it's at the end, and he's, like, worried that, you know, I guess.
Say it.
I don't know.
Just let it fly. It's from the 90s, 80s. Like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
I don't know exactly if it's true, but my dad mentioned that that's like the reason why that movie got all these awards, is that one scene where he finally meets his son for the first time, and he's like a 5-year-old kid now.
Yeah.
And he like kind of like realizes like, oh man. And he like asks the mom, like, is he slow like me? And he can't really like finish the sentence, and he's like really emotional. And she's like, no, he's beautiful, he's smart, he's amazing, he's so intelligent. And he's just like, you could see like Tom Hanks as a character, like he just delivered it so well. It was so good. Like, just like that emotional scene of like, man.
Emotional and grateful, that his son could understand what's going on. Like,
yeah. And it's just cool to see him as that character, realizing that, you know, he's like, you can see that he lives like kind of a difficult life, but he realizes that his son doesn't have to go through that. It's really cool.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Everybody like looks. Oh, I won't get into it. Never mind. Go watch the freaking movie. Like, it's freaking great. Yeah, man. I guess I could say my favorite scene, and I won't explain why. I could explain it to you guys later. but it's when they're both in the injury bay. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. That's my favorite scene, and it's just he's just trying to make him happy, man. Like,
yeah,
like I don't know. I just brought you ice cream because ice cream's good, and I thought you would want it. I don't know.
And it was crazy watching it after the first time. How many like people I didn't realize back then that I did after years later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy how many like cameos they put in of footage of like all these people back in the 70s and 80s and stuff.
Yeah,
for real.
It's crazy how
Just
many
little Easter eggs.
It's also like that movie to me is like there's some movies that come out that you watch and it's like when you look back on the movie, there's like 3 scenes that are like main moments in the movie. But in Forrest Gump, I swear there's like 20. Like if you like go down your mind like what happened in that movie, you got the whole war, you got him as a kid, you've got ping pong, you've got football, you've got
the running,
shrimping, shrimp running. Like how long is that movie?
Jenny,
how long is that movie?
Her dad. I'll look it up. But you got that scene where he takes Jenny back to her home.
Yeah,
it's all run down.
There's so many scenes, and yet even though they have so many things, they're still able to make it mesh so well. Like it doesn't feel like it's
2 hours and 22 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, and I feel like they did a really good job on making every scene feel important.
Exactly.
Like there's no filler in it. This is his life and this is what we're going through. Like, great movie. It makes my number one feel like freaking shallow. But then again, I don't watch that many movies. So.
All right, what is it?
You want me to just go? I'm just going to go right into it. I doubt we're going to talk all that long on it because it is kind of a less meaningful movie.
It's the B movie?
Oh, heck yeah, dude. No. It's the only movie I've watched multiple times in theaters because I thought it was that good, and it was cool to see like the universe mesh all together. And like just saying that, I bet you guys know what it is. It's the first Avengers.
Oh.
Like it's by far, like if I could watch it for the first time again without like any of the other Marvel after it, like that's the one caveat is if I can't watch any of the Marvel after it, because like I went back and watched Age of Ultron right before I watched Endgame because I was on my mission when Age of Ultron came out. And it wasn't as good as the ones coming out because I didn't get to see it when it came out. So that's the one caveat is if I haven't seen any of the Marvel movies past it, and I could go back to rewatching the first Avengers for the first time. That movie was so like it had hype behind it and it lived up to it. Like, and that's so rare nowadays in anything. It was such a good movie. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it just showed like the clashing personalities of all the heroes that you've come to love, and you get to kind of see like kind of their douchey side, if you will.
Their real side, like they're real people.
They're real people. They all have problems in their lives. They all have things that they have to overcome to be able to become this team. Whereas I feel like other like hero teams and stuff, it all just works out and they're all so perfect together. Like, no, these guys have problems, but they have to overcome this to be able to go and save the world. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. That movie has so much hype coming out.
It's like when Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron had a crossover.
Dude, it just worked out so perfect.
iCarly Victorious. What else? That's true, though, yeah. That was such an exciting moment.
I saw that movie at the midnight release.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the first ones.
Yeah. I think I saw it 3 times in theaters because that's how much I loved it when it came out.
Wow.
Like...
Nice.
But I went and saw it with other groups of people every time because it's just like, I want to see their reaction. And in a theater, I can't be that kid that's like, hey, watch this part. Like in a theater, I could shut up and just let them watch it because I knew the movie was going to do the work.
I just still remember the audience's reaction with Hulk and Loki. And you just like smash back and forth.
That's so freaking good.
Just the roar of laughter.
I remember thinking Hulk is just unstoppable. He's just broken.
Mm-hmm. Or like when he
was in that movie.
Yeah.
Not in the
after that he's weak.
Weak sauce.
Or the time when he just I'm always angry. Like, I remember that reaction from everybody, just like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go! Kind of like when Endgame, when the portals open up and everybody comes out. She's like, oh, let's go!
And the hammer scene.
Yeah, just like,
You guys know what that.
yeah.
Your hands get sweaty, your knees get weak, your tits get hard. It's just.
So
I wish I didn't get to watch that movie in theaters, but
dang, it was a good time.
So usually in like top 10 lists, usually they'll do the honorable mentions right before the number one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually gonna throw in another honorable mention before my number one, because when you said that, it reminded me of a movie, a superhero movie as well, and I just want to throw this in here as well because I'm gonna throw in Dark Knight, and the reason why, one of my cousins, he actually watched it 7 times in theaters. So when you said that 3 times, it reminded me of that, and I was like, I have to give credit to this because, and the reason why is, Heath Ledger's acting. I'll always say that is the greatest acting I've ever seen in a movie, and he made it so believable, and like the story was so good that it literally changed my life after that. I was like, he is amazing, and you know, with his death,
it's no longer a movie.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, when you're in it, you're in it because he is so freaking good, and the dialogue and the writing of that movie is so good. I have to mention that movie as well because I would love to witness the Joker again and experience all those lines he says again the first time, and the way he delivers them. But so my number one is gonna be a shock to my family, probably not Tierney. So when I got back from my mission, I watched a ton of movies, of course, and so actually my number one movie I've seen when I got back from the last, I've been home for a year now, and the best movie I've seen is actually A Star Is Born, but that's not my number one. My number one is actually Us. And so the reason why I say A Star Is Born is better than Us is because there's so many flaws in Us in terms of like, this makes no sense, but it doesn't matter. It's a horror. Yeah. I just don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care enough that I have to give it number one because just like Skeleton Key, my jaw dropped for an hour after the movie, and then I sat there. I had the exact same experience as Skeleton Key here. So like, I just sat there with my family, with my wife and Tierney, my sister. I was just like, oh my freaking goodness. And like, we just had to talk about it for an hour. And like the whole night, like the next couple days, me and Stacy were scared walking over to our house. And like, we like imagined, like I would scare her and be like tell her that there's like twins of us outside staring at us walking over to the house or something. And she was actually scared. I love this movie so much. I wish those flaws weren't there, but it does not matter enough to me to make a problem with it. Like just the whole concept of it was so different from anything I've ever experienced. For me, I crave something that I've never experienced before. Like I crave original writing, and that's why Breaking Bad, when we do a TV show one of this, Breaking Bad's probably gonna be number one. I'll just say that because when I watched it, I experienced something different, a different type of thing that it didn't remind me of something else. Like it was this whole new experience of writing where I could tell they were being original and they weren't copying someone. And that's what Us gave me. And I just wish I could experience that thrill again, experience the ending twist, and be scared again and just like want to talk about it for the next week and just have my jaw dropped. It's such a good movie. I recommend it. There is cussing, and there is a lot of blood. It's gory, but if you like to be thrilled, I highly recommend it. And
I also recommend it.
Yeah.
If you're like me, you might want to stay away.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, and I get that. It's fine, but
because you just like talking about how it made you scared, like to walk back to your house and to do all that, like I feel like it started making my heartbeat go a little faster, and that's like kind of sad.
I don't know why that movie didn't scare me like that, but there's some other scary movies I watched recently that scared me pretty badly.
Well,
like Hereditary.
Maybe here's an idea, and I want the comments and other people to like let us know. But like during Halloween time this year, maybe we should get a top like 3 like scary and thriller list, like between those two, of what people want us to watch, and all 3 of us will watch them, and maybe we'll like have a Discord stream of them.
I want to do a horror movie. I mean, I know you can't really add Colin, but I've watched a lot. I'd like to do, and I know you have too, Carter, right?
Well, and that's what I'm meaning is we watch them and then we talk about them for the podcast.
Yes, that too. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So I want to know what the viewers.
I got my two.
Yeah, I want to know what the viewers want us to watch. I want to know, what you guys want to watch and whatnot. Just
Colin, do you know
a little easy on me.
I need to be there with you when you're watching.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Set it on Discord and set it on the sound, and we can go.
Do you know what Us is about, Colin? Have you seen the trailer?
No, I have no clue. Dude, I stay away from like all thriller and all scary, so it'll be a new experience for me.
Well, I want to explain the thesis to you, and then people, if they want to watch it.
Sure.
So there's a family, and I'll just explain when the excitement starts is they're on vacation, and almost exact twins, like lookalikes of them, of the mom, the dad, and the 3 kids, show up to the door, and they are like wearing red jumpsuits with knives, and they are running from their lives from them. And then throughout the movie, you'll see that other people are trying to be killed by their lookalikes. And that's all I say. And the twist of the whole experience of how they explain the lookalikes is just awesome. It's so cool. So original, and it's awesome. But
and just you explaining that, like my prediction, and it's probably totally off, is it's actually them, but they're like bipolar or something. But I don't know.
Shout out to Jordan Peele, man.
Yeah, shout out, man. Great work. And Get Out is awesome too. But that one, Get Out,
sure.
Get Out reminds me a lot of Skeleton Key. Actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which is why when I watched it, it didn't feel as original. Because I was like, the whole time it was reminding me of Skeleton Key, the ending. And I kind of called the ending, that one. But, yeah.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Some good movies that we mentioned. I like them.
Oh, yeah. And if you're not that big of a movie watcher, there's at least like 12 movies there that you can go watch, and a couple series as well. Like, there's a lot of good entertainment out there. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
I'm good.
Awesome. Let's hit it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, hit that subscribe button and come join our Discord. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to spend some time with you. And please hit up the comments down below and let us know like what your favorite movies are. And again, let us know if you want us to have like a Halloween kind of episode. I think that'd be fun since these guys really love the thrillers and the scary movies. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
No, man. We'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.
Bless you.